What's up, you guys? Welcome to another trading analytics video. I'm Trade Runner, and today we had a roller coaster ride on SPY, as well as all of our other major tickers, such as Apple, QQQ, and even a weird reaction to earnings for Google. But first things first, let's kind of jump right into it and see what we're looking at here. How did we open the day on SPY? Well, you can see here that we actually had a nice gap up from where we closed at the yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon during the trading session. And then we saw an immediate downtrend once we hit our top of 423.37, right? At that point in time, of course. So what happened? We rejected 423.37, and we had a steep fall all the way down to our next level of support. Now you can't see it here at 420, but we had this range, this level was the top of our Bollinger Band. Was so that's our heavy resistance on the daily range at this point in time, and then we actually bounced off of the lower end of the Bollinger Band right here. We saw a nice little rocket up as our EMAs consolidated before falling again and finding that same level of support. But what happened and what was the impetus for a lot of this stuff, right? So the big thing that was going on at this time was Google was having its national event where they are talking about things like the Google Pixel, the new Google Pixel release, some AI news, which everyone knows AI is a huge buzzword for 2023. It's kind of like crypto in 2021. And that just kind of sent the market into a nice little bounce. We bounced right through all levels of resistance that we had outlined on our daily trend lines, blew past our current resistance at the top of the Bollinger Band that we had identified earlier, and rose all the way up here to 424.34. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if everything's bullish on the market at this point in time, recession's over, it's calls all day, right? And I mean, you did say in your previous video, which is going to be linked up here somewhere, that we're going to get that pullback that we had earlier in the week, and we're going to rock it all the way up. Well, not exactly. If you guys remember in the video, I stated that we were going to see a pullback, a larger pullback before we end up getting our rocket. So this is all setting up just based off of some micro and macro factors in the overall marketplace, and that kind of led to our push that we saw. But as a whole, this was actually a good time once we actually topped down here and rejected, because this is where the new Bollinger Band upper levels were identified at after the volume increase that we had seen as evidence here on our chart on the bottom, and this massive green candle that we see here, right? So what happened around 11 o'clock this afternoon or this morning into the afternoon? Well, it was very likely we're going to see a significant downturn. Now, looking at the SPY chart, like, okay, cool, SPY drop, whatever. But taking puts at this time, which we actually did in our Discord server, not on SPY, we actually took some on QQQ because we felt that the tech industry, which was playing heavily into SPY's run up, was going to see a bit of a reversal, and we were 100% right, evidenced by this 80% QQQ put that we took right around this level. And then what happened? That that SPY downtrend broke us down through our EMA 20, broke us down through our EMA 50, all the way down below. We got our death cross here with the EMA 200 and the 20 cross, and we saw further downside all the way back down to 421 from 424 on spot. Now, that trend continued all basically from 11 o'clock all the way through near market close, right? And then what happened after that? We saw a massive rally. So what does it mean for tomorrow and the market as a whole, or today, I should say, in the market as a whole, and what could we think we could expect heading into the pre-market trading periods as well as the early morning hours of Thursday morning? Well, it's likely that we're going to see a bit of a gap down to our previous levels of support. So I can expect this to open around low 424s, possibly high 423s, before we get some consolidation and we get a nice push towards the upside. I'm thinking 425 by the end of this week will be our clear line of support, and that's going to end up pushing us higher up into the range of the 430s, possibly 432 before midweek of next week. So that's something to keep an eye on there. Again, our Discord, we've been trading SPY, QQQ, and IWM, the three major indices, pretty heavily. And as evidence here, I think we're leaning more towards the bearish side of the short term. But doesn't mean we can't. We're bullish in the long term. Doesn't mean we can't play bearish in the short term, right? So overall, I think SPY's movements today have been we're kind of in line with expectations. Now, obviously, Google's event was a bit of a wrench thrown into the overall plan there, and couple that with some less than stellar news on the job front. You know, we had 80,000 jobs versus the $150,000 expectation. Tesla, they had their downgrade from their overall manufacturing numbers, as well as a downgrade in the price estimations for their models. So a lot of those things led to the downtrend that we saw a little bit today. But I think all in all, we're still going to be gearing up for a very, very spicy October near mid next week, heading into the end of next week, where I think that's where we're going to begin our call rally and start seeing a lot more upside in the overall trend. So again, this is something we've also highlighted in our Discord several times. We'll be talking about pullback to the 417 range, like we 417s, low 420s, like we saw earlier this week and last week. And that's going to lead us into our Santa Claus run. We've been pounding on that drum for the last, what, 3-4 weeks as to what to expect for the month of October. And I don't think anything about that thesis has changed, right? Now, one thing to kind of consider, though, we do have some catalysts for tomorrow or for today as well as Friday. And that would be, we have the jobless claims at 8:30. We have the employment report on Friday, as well as hourly wages and the consumer credit at 3 p.m. So those are macro factors, but they are less, they're not as major as you think when we get things like PPI, CPI, and jobless claims, right? So, I mean, not jobless claims, but the jobs report. So all in all, I think that coupled with the fact that we're gonna have a FOMC meeting later on this month, I think we're gonna be we're geared up to be our bull run. So I expect more upside to SPY in the mid to short term. I think we can hit 430 by the end of this week. 425 will become our support, and I'm positive that we're going to start seeing some green movements in the market in terms of overall projection. So I think the pullback we needed that we got at the end of September, heading into the beginning of this month, was much needed because we had been trending way too high for way too long. And I think now it's time for us to kind of get a little bit more normalized before we kind of close out. As I've stated before in our previous videos, I think we're going to end the year around 445, 450 range on SPY, just based off of a lot of numerous outside factors, such as Amazon's going to have their second Prime Day in a couple of days here. That's going to drive some market movement. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, all these other major holidays that are right around the corner, and consumer sentiment is going to be going up with that. So that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching again. Link to our Discord will be in the description of this video as well as our channel bio, so feel free to stop by and take a look. I've been Trade Runner. This is Trading Analytics. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.